I'm so glad this game has no secret exits to skip levels. It wants you to experience each level instead of trying to skip to the next thing. No speed running here.
What are you talking about? There's a skip to World 2 in the second level.
There's a what?
Did you write this whole review without knowing there are secret exits that skip levels?
Would you mind giving me an hour or two to redo this whole thing?
You know what it's a good time for? Reminders that the Wii U isn't nearly as awful as the internet seems to believe it is. No drift, for one thing. While it wasn't Nintendo's most popular system, it saw some really wonderful releases such as the first Splatoon, the original Mario Kart 8, Nintendo Land, the original Hyrule Warriors, the best Smash Brothers, and more. While Nintendo seems to be attempting to blot out the past by simply re-releasing the Wii U library on the Switch, for full price, we will never forget the majesty of the original versions of some of these games. The latest entry into the pool of ported pleasantries is Super Mario 3D World, a combination of time-tested 2D mechanics and 3D platforming that create one heck of a game.
With another port of a Wii U game to the Switch, Nintendo took the time to add some changes to improve overall gameplay. One of the major changes we noticed was the speed of each character. You can dash if you move while holding Y for a little bit, and then suddenly you're off like a rocket. You travel so fast. Moving at the speed of a Toad in the original game may take a little getting used to, specifically during these awful Bowser car battles. This is a strange change as our four heroes moved at a fine speed in the original, but I guess it was to increase, I don't know, the chaos more than the fun? I'm really not sure.
The next major change we noticed was with the Captain Toad levels. My favorite! In the original game, which James and I played together, only one player could take on these well thought out and visually interesting puzzles, leaving the player who didn't enjoy these levels, namely James, to sit and do nothing. This time around, if there is more than one player entering these levels, players 2 through 4 will take control of other Toad Brigade members. That means not only can 4 players take on Mario levels, they can take on Captain Toad levels as well. While James still left these puzzles to me for the most part, it was significantly more fun splitting the work of gathering the green stars than having to do it all myself.
The final major change we noticed was the absence of the microphone-based movement platforms. In levels such as World 2-2 Puff Prod Peaks, many of the platforms are controlled via touch. In addition, there are some platforms and enemies on screen that would react to blowing on the microphone. Due to the lack of a microphone on the Switch, the platforms are relegated to being regular moving platforms, and enemies now no longer need to fear being blown away. While it doesn't hinder gameplay, it's a small reminder of a mechanic we'll miss from the original release.
If you already own the Wii U game, this version doesn't offer up enough to warrant another $60 purchase. The changes are minimal, the fixes are few, and you really only get a speedier experience. Of course, if you're just looking for the novelty of the experience on the Switch, then this is the game for you. It was a great experience in its original form, and it's a great experience now. Unless you really want to experience those Captain Toad levels again with a buddy, this game isn't worth the full price.